So what I now approached this HR lady and spoke to her. She said, oh, you need to get some certifications. So I went and I submitted myself. Because, mind you, while I was in the banking industry, I had opportunities to train. My bank offered me such opportunities. So training wasn't new to me. So they offered me opportunities to train, opportunities to recruit. So I had those experiences, but I needed those experiences documented. So I went and I got certified. I went and took HR courses, business courses, and then I got a practitioner's license, enabling me to practice in Nigeria. So I got that from CIPM, and then I started my business. But before that time, coming to the financial aspect, remember I said I started with nothing. So what I did was I went back to the Lord. You know, he's the one who gives the vision. He also makes the provision. So I went back to the Lord and I said, Lord, I don't have any money to do anything. What do you have in your hands? I said, okay. Because I've learned that when you ask the Lord a question and he answers you, and you ask him again and he answers you, it means that you need to go back and actually sit down and dwell on what he has told you. So when he said to me the second time, what is it that you have in your hands? I knew I needed to, spend time. So what did I do? I went back and I started to think. Because, what happens sometimes to us Christians is we leave all the planning to the Lord. I dare say that the Lord, it's a partnership thing. The Lord gives you the vision. You also have your own place. So when I started to think, okay, where is this money going to come from? Where is it? So after a while, it hits me suddenly. Okay, I remember like 15 years ago, we had while the stock market was booming, everybody was buying shares and all that. My husband and I had bought so many shares, and then when the thing crashed, we didn't think, okay, it wasn't worth anything, so we just left them. So while I was thinking, I just said, oh, okay, I have some shares. So why not sell it and then use it to start? So I took, I went to my stock company, requested they sell some shares, which they did. And then with the initial funds, some of the funds, I bought a laptop. That was my first tool. So with this laptop, I now sat down and started teaching myself on how to do PowerPoint. So from teaching myself the rudimentaries of PowerPoint and Excel, I went to Google, started learning some of those things. And I asked myself, okay, Chidinma, what kind of PowerPoint do you think you would do that would attract, B2B, that's business to business, the kind of organizations you want to capture? What kind of PowerPoints can you do? So that's where excellence comes in. So what I've brought out so far is a need for us to show resilience, consistency, and excellence. Those are some of the keys that make people want to turn around and listen to what you have to say. So I started spending time. Then 3 or 4 months later, after I'd spent time learning these things via Google and all that, and getting some certifications online, I now said, okay, so where would the customers come from? And I went back to the Lord and I said, oh, okay, Lord, what do I do now? I started asking. Someone said, oh, it's your network. You can take your phone. I now picked my phone, looked through the people I had on my phone. I said, I don't see anybody that will be needing my kind of business, in my contact. So I still went back and I thought, and then this particular day, it just dawned on me. You have some call cards this high that rubber banded and thrown away. I kept them aside after I left the bank. I just went and picked them, sat down, and then started calling all those numbers. Out of that heap, one of them said to me, oh, is this what you're doing now? I said, yes. Oh, fine. My organization needs what you have. Come and train my people. And that was the first time I had an opportunity to stand before the people in an organization and to, train. And since that time, there hasn't been any looking back.
I know, right? Because I've been following up on your story. You started with just one customer, but today you're all over the whole country. You're in Abuja today, you're in Port Harcourt tomorrow, and it's just been amazing. What I can pick out from this, and I'm sure the ladies out there who are listening would know that faith was speaking. You didn't have money, right? Which is what keeps people in their tracks, And some women would say, oh, but I thought my husband was going to support me on this. Yeah, husbands are very supportive and, our relationships out there. But you sat down and said, oh, I don't have money, so what do I do? Bearing in mind that the money, everything you required was all inside of you. And today, in a very short, you started off when? 2020?
Yeah, actually, we kicked off 2022.
Wow. Yes. And here we are today. A whole lot of organizations want you to come and train their staff. Yes. And, right now, you're meeting a whole lot of needs because, trainings in organizations is very, very important and all. And I see value. You bringing value to organizations and all. Now, having said all of this, and we're getting inspired already. It's a beautiful story. So, but what products and services does Whiterand offer?
Okay. Presently, Whiterand is offering basically now one arm that we're actually fully focused on is the training aspect. That's where we started. We've expanded that aspect, and we see a lot of opportunities coming through training aspect. We also have our recruitment. We've recruited for organizations. One-off, we've done recruitments for some organizations. We even had an opportunity to recruit a GM for a particular organization, which was a big thing for us. That was a big breakthrough for us and all that. So we are looking at our outsourcing arm. So how are we building our outsourcing arm? That's the third part of our product for now. It's what we are looking at is we are building a database of young graduates, NYSC, early career professionals. So we are training them. We're kickstarting the PowerPoint, everything is ready. So we'll be kickstarting by next week, Saturday, but it's going to be fully online. So we get them together, we train them, because in my 18 years in a structured environment, I learned one thing. You see the skilled and the unskilled. You see the challenges organizations face with the quality of recruitment they have, and sometimes one of the things that pushes an organization forward is the quality of professionals and who work in your organization. So I've seen there's a need there. There's a particular need. So we want to take these people, they are staff, remember it's outsourcing, yes. We'll train them, then we'll deploy them, then we'll train them continuously. Wow. So we know that at the end of the day, organizations who depend on us for candidates, for staff, will not have need for complaints because we'll be hands-on. So that's what we are building. My team and I, that's what we are working on presently, so that we can, sell, some of those skills I learned of while working in a structured environment. So we'll train them, we'll deploy them. We're in short, customer service, business skills. That's what we're training them on. Customer service, business skills, digital skills. So at the end of the day, they enter your organization and they hit the ground running.
Wow, amazing. So in other words, you're catching them young and preparing them for the workforce, isn't it? Beautiful, beautiful. So how do you advertise?
Okay. Presently, we have our Instagram page. We have an Instagram page _ Whiterand Consulting Limited. We also have a website. We have a website, Whiterand Consulting, www.whiterandconsultinglimited.com. We are also on Facebook, Whiterand Consulting. We are on LinkedIn as Whiterand Consulting as well. So those are our Facebook, that's our online, channels of our marketing. Also, we deepen our relationship by ensuring that we, delve into one-on-one networking, referrals, getting referrals from businesses we've done so far. Yes.
Wow. And based on all of that, you've been having, people call in to say, we want you to come and, train our staff. And
yes,
amazing, yes. Amazing. It's been nice talking with you, Mrs. Chidinma Okeke. It's been a very interesting journey so far. And, the highlights, you prayed, basically. Yes. And, that's the essence of this show. ICWIB has to do with insights for Christian women in business. And we'll talk about the qualities. What are the qualities of a daring woman? You stood out, because you talked about you had to pray, you put in the work, resilience, you didn't give up, even when you knew that it was quite challenging. You didn't have any work tools. All you had, eventually you got a laptop, you started off from your home, your dining table, and all of that. You could have given up. So what held you back? What was the driving force for you? What kept you in there?
Okay, my driving force basically was this. I've come to understand that it's in the place of adversity that greatness is built. Greatness is always built in the place of adversity. So when adversity comes, that's not the time to run. That's the time to, turn back and tell the devil, get back to hell.
That's right.
So that's the time you stand and then you do the work. So if you notice, in any season where there's adversity, a lot of great people and great minds evolve. So that was one thing that kept me. That's my driving force. Never to go back. Never to go back. Just keep moving on. The tomorrow will always be better. Tomorrow will always be better.
So wow. So that's it for you. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Chidinma Okeke. We're going to have you again on this show. And ladies out there, it's been a pleasure having you and listening to this talk show with our daring woman, Mrs. Chidinma Okeke. And we plan to have her back on the show where she's going to be sharing with us tips and tricks on how to be financially prudent as a Christian businesswoman. So would want you to also stay in there even as we come up with shows with different women. And then want to say we love you. Remain blessed. Thank you.